Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again. I'm back off my holiday and we're back to looking at Edge of Eternities today. So we're kicking off this week with Xu-Ifit, Osteoharmonist, I don't know, harmonist, there you go, Osteoharmonist, there you go, that's it, I think that's right now. 1 and double black for a 2/3 human wizard that says tap, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's a skeleton in addition to its other types and has no abilities. Activate only as a sorcery. Right. So what you're saying is I can reanimate anything from my graveyard and it just comes back as a vanilla skeleton X creature. I can't see a downside of this at the moment. I really can't, to be honest. I just think this is just such a fun reanimated card. It's one of the better black reanimated cards I've had for a while. So, yeah. Let's have a look at this one today. Hope you like this one. The important part is it comes in, the creatures come in with no abilities. So things like Death Shadows, if you've got Xu, if this is in your graveyard and you've got Xu in play, yeah, you can just bring this back as a 13/13. Doesn't have the abilities, there you go. Yeah, that's fine. Same with Phyrexian Dreadnought, you can just bring this back as a 12/12. Okay, but you do need to fill the graveyard up, so Stitch of Supplies in, as you could expect. Valgavoth's Faithfuls here, just in case we do need to return a card a different way. Yes, it costs us 4 mana to do it, like it's a zombify on a stick, basically. So, yeah, we're here with this. Apprentice Necromancer comes in, does the same thing, another sort of like cheaper zombify on a stick. It does gain haste to creatures, so that's pretty cool. And you do have to sacrifice it, so it does go back to your graveyard, which means you can then do it again with Xu-Ifit. Yeah, okay then. Carrionet comes in from Tempest of all places. It just gives you a way of exiling cards that you don't want unless someone pays 2. So if there's a big annoying creature in play, you can remove this, you can exile this and a creature from the game unless its controller plays 2. Has to be in your graveyard to do, but it's a 1/1 and you can probably mill it or get it killed off somehow as an early blocker. The Emperor of Bones. Yeah, at the beginning of combat on your turn, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. Okay. Then you get to adapt it, and then whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on the Emperor, put a creature card exiled with the Emperor onto the battlefield under our control with a finality counter on it. It gains haste, sacrifice at the beginning of next end step, so you can nick someone's biggest creature for a turn. Seems good. Maya Triton just mills 2 cards when it comes in and gives us a little bit of life gain. And from there, Undead Butler mills 3 cards, and when it dies, we can exile it and get a creature card from our graveyard back to our hand. We've got some pump for our skeletons and Death Baron, and we've also got Doom Necromancer in here, just another way of reanimating something if we need it to happen. Phyrexian Soul Gorger is lovely. 3, well, it comes into play, it's an 8/8. That's it, we'll ignore the cumulative upkeep, to be perfectly honest, because you aren't going to play this for 3 mana unless you're absolutely desperate for a blocker in your next turn. The Death Priest of Merkel comes in as well to pump up our skeletons that we're creating. And then at the beginning of our end step, if a creature died this turn, you can pay 1 and get another skeleton token. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So you get 2/2 for 1 mana when something snuffs it. That's good. Paragon of the Open Graves, it just gives us all our black creatures a +1/+1. Skeleton Crew pumps all our skeletons up. And then whenever 1 or more creature cards leave our graveyard, we get a 2/2 black skeleton pirate creature token. And we can bring this back from our graveyard tap for 6 mana as well, which is kind of nice. Tormod the Desecrator makes a lot of tap zombie tokens, but we will have creature cards leaving our library, so we might as well get a little bit more benefit from them disappearing back into the battlefield. Violent Tumor just lets us go and find something and put it in our graveyard. Then it's a 4 mana Death Toucher with 2 power and 2 toughness. Gitter the Hellraiser pumps our zombies up and our skeletons and our zombies that we'll be creating up with Menace. And then whenever we commit a crime, we get to commit 2. We create 2 tapped 2 blue and black zombie crow creature tokens once a turn. That is anyway. We're in mono black, so Gary had to be here for obvious reasons. Likewise, Sir Conrad the Grim had to be here for obvious reasons as well. Underworld Sentinel's a bit of a strange one. When it attacks, we can exile a target creature card from our graveyard. But when it dies, we get to put all those creature cards from exile onto the battlefield. So they come in as themselves, not skeleton, not vanilla creatures, just as themselves. So quite a big upside for this one from Theros. From there, Champion of Stray Souls, sacrifice X other creatures, return X target creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. And again, we can reanimate this by putting it on top of our library for 7 mana if we need to. Injector Crocodile is here because it's swamp cycles, so it goes and fixes our mana out. We are a little bit light on mana, I'll be honest, so there's quite a few swamp cyclers, so Injector's one of them. Rampaging Spiketail's the next one, but if it does enter the battlefield some other way, target creature we control gets +2/+0 and gains indestructibility end of turn. Spectral Stature, swamp cycling, but has a ward and it's a 6/5 beta if we need it, so that's fine. A Twisted Abomination obviously is a 5/3 that swamp cycles, one of the original ones. Abhorrent Overlord also makes an appearance. Now, this is one of the few cards that is this mana value you may want to think about casting at some stage instead of returning with Xu. But yeah, there are ways of doing things, as you'll see in a minute. Gloomfang Mauler is also in for the swamp cycling, and the backup's quite nice. Chuck around a couple of +1/+1 counters and give that something menace. And because I'm in mono black, yeah, sorry, I'm still in love with Algavoth. Yeah. Anyway, from there, Ancient Stone Idol is the last one. One less to cast if we've got a load of creatures attacking, which is possible. It takes the mana cost down from 10 to something reasonable like 6. There's a 12/12 with Trample, but when it dies, we get to get a 6/12 Construct Artifact Creature Token with Trample. So, yeah, interesting one. Again, obviously it has no abilities, so that won't trigger when you kill it off if you brought it back with Zoo, but it's still a 12/12 at the end of the day, so we're not going to complain. Sorceries, well, we've got a few ways of killing off things and returning things. With Final of Eternities here, we've got Agamemnon's Awakening, which also doubles up as another one of our lands that we may lead. But this one's better if you can return the creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield with converted mana costs X or less. The different ones anyway. Buried Alive lets us go and put 3 creatures in our graveyard ready to go with Zoo. Toxic Deluge to control the board. Victimize to sacrifice 1 creature off and get 2 back from the graveyard. Damnation again to control the board. Will of the Azban, mainly for the 4 mana return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If we get the other one off, all well and good. Zombify, just the traditional black reanimator card had to be here. Likewise, Bond of Revival to give our creature when we bring it back haste for a turn. Same with Ever After, we get to bring back 2, they become zombies, and we get to put Ever After on the bottom of our library, so we can play again if need be. And yeah, I'm in mono black, and I still haven't managed to cast it on stream, so Rise of the Dark Realms is here as well. Sorry. Only 2 instances in the deck. Corpse Churn, just to do a little bit of milling, and Fated Return, to return something from our graveyard, we give it indestructible. And yeah, if it's our turn, we get to scry 2, which is nice. 18 artifacts, so Elixir of Immortality, shuffle everything back in if it goes pear-shaped. Ghoul Caller's Bell, so we can mill things. The Boots to protect Xu-Ifit. Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Charcoal Diamond, Fellwar Stone, Jet Medallion, nothing unusual there. Lightning Greaves as well to protect Zoo. But Majorite Stones here, so we can untap target creature card that has an activated ability with a thing in it, because you have to do this at sorcery speed. So having additional activations as Zoo could be useful. Sting just untaps our creature at the beginning of each combat and gives something haste. So, play Zoo, turn 4, maybe play this, return something, untap it, play another one in the second main phase. It's all good. The Boots protect Zoo a little bit as well. And then we've got Thought Vessel for some more ramp. Puppet Strings to untap Xu if we need to. And then 1000 Year Elixir, so we can actually just use his ability as though he had haste. Umbra Mantle is a little bit of fun from my point of view. 3 mana to untap a creature and pump it up a little bit. It does make Zoo into a 4/5, which is quite good, so we'll see. Conjurer's Closet is important. Now, I'm going to be honest about this. You can target one of the creatures you returned, that's a skeleton. It disappears, and because it blinks out of play and then comes back in, it comes back in as the original creature type. So just bear that in mind, especially if it's something like on Death's Whisper or Phyrexian Dreadnought, one of them, you still have to pay all the costs. But anything else, beneficial. And finally, the Cauldron of Eternity. We'll have creatures in our graveyard. We might as well just try and get them recycling through with this in play. And paying the 2 life and paying 3 mana to bring something back is pretty good. 4 enchantments in the deck, one of which is unusual. Yes, it's in Assassin's Creed, but I remember this from back in the day. Cover of Darkness. Choose a creature type, skeleton. And then creatures of the chosen type have fear. They can't be blocked except by artifacts and black creatures. Yeah, okay then. Oversold Cemetery, beginning of our upkeep, 4 more creature cards in our graveyard, we get 1 back in our hand. Ripples of Undeath at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase mill 3. Then you may pay 1 and 3 life. If you do, put a card from among them into your hand. So you get to do a bit more drawing if you've got the spare mana. And finally, Corpses of the Lost gives all our skeletons +1/+0 and haste. And when this enters, we get a 2/2 black skeleton pirate creature token. And at the beginning of your end step, if you descended this turn, you may pay 1. If you do, return Corpse of the Lost to its owner's hand. You can just keep bringing it back if you want to, but having it in play to pump our skeletons up and give them haste is all great. Now, we've only got 34 lands, well, 35 if you count our sorcery up here, Agdamin's Awakening. But Accursed Juneyard is worth pointing out because we regenerate skeleton, so that's nice. Then we've got Cabal Coffers, Cabal Stronghold, Hidden Necropolis. We can go and do some discovering if we need to. Mastro's Theatre is here just to go and search out swamps, along with Obscura Storefront and Riveteer's Outlook. Nykthos, because why would I not have Nykthos in the deck? 25 swamps, and of course Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth tops off our lands here. Now, for once, I am not playing the Throne of Eldraine, even though it's a mono deck. I did think about it, but I thought the interaction was a little bit more important than playing that out. You could potentially drop something up here. I don't know what, to be honest. Maybe the Umbra Manticore could become Throne of Eldraine if you want it in here for the mono deck. But that's it. I'll just point that out now. And finish this video off because that is my take on Xu-Ifit. Now I'm back. There'll be even more Edge of Eternity stuff coming, and Xu-Ifit will be one of the cards I try and play on stream as soon as I can pick one up, if I haven't picked one up already by the time I stream later this week. I hope you've enjoyed this video. There will be more coming. Please let me know in the comments if there's a Edge of Eternity's card you want to see that I haven't covered yet, and I will do it as soon as possible. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow with some more. So take care, have fun, see you later. Bye.